I'm a massive night owl and love staying up till the early hours of the night and then getting up later on in the day. That's just how my biology is built, but that's how I've always operated. I will sometimes stay up till 2, 3 in the morning and then lay in until 8 or 9. And that's how I feel the most energetic, and that's how I get stuff done. And I used to do shift work where I would get up at 5 a.m., go into work, and I would feel amazing for the first 2 or 3 hours. And then by 10, 11 o'clock, I would start really struggling and flagging and really start to crash around lunchtime. And by the time I got home, I would get home and really struggle to fight the urge to have a nap. And if I could fight the urge to have a nap, I would then eventually crash in bed at about 9 or 10 o'clock. And I would just be absolutely useless from about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon onwards, because my brain would just shut down. So that's why I've always been a night owl. But for the next 30 days, I am going from being a night owl to an early bird. Now, we've all seen it, right? The big celebrities, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and all of those people that get up at the crack of dawn and have these elaborate morning routines that claim that they are amazing and essential to their success. People like Mark Wahlberg, who gets up at 2:30 a.m. and is in the gym by 3:30 a.m. People like The Rock, who is up at 3:30 every morning, does 20 minutes of cardio, comes back and eats steak and eggs for breakfast, then goes back to the gym and does another 60 minutes of hardcore strength and weight training conditioning. And then you've got people like Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Ryan Serhant, big successful CEOs and entrepreneurs that are up at 4:30 every morning. And yet CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, who's up at 3:45 every morning. And Richard Branson, who's up at 5:30 every morning. All of these big successful CEOs claim that getting up early is essential to their success. But one thing that frustrates me is all these productivity experts that talk about the benefits of getting up early, that say that by getting up at 4 a.m, if everyone else is up at 7 a.m, you have got 3 extra hours over everyone else that they wouldn't have. That's 21 hours a week that you would normally be asleep. The one thing that frustrates me about that is that they're forgetting that by getting up at 4 a.m, you're going to bed 3 hours earlier than anyone else. So you're not actually gaining 3 extra hours. You're just trading them. So where someone like me, I'm up till 2 or 3 a.m. doing work, and those people are in bed at 2 or 3 a.m. They're in bed by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, and then they're up at 4. So they're not gaining 3 extra hours a day. They're just trading them for a different time of the day. Now, the benefits to getting up early is research has shown that if you get up early and get straight into work, then your brainwave is naturally closer to the productivity state and the flow state that it is when you're asleep. So when you're asleep, your sleep brainwave is the same or very, very similar to flow state, when you're naturally work and in a hyper-focused state when you're being super productive. So it has been proven by research that by being in a flow state and by doing work as soon as you get up, you are going to be more productive than if you do work later on in the day. So there is that benefit to it. But a lot of people claim that getting up early is the essential to their success. So for the next 30 days, I'm transferring from being a night owl to an early bird. That includes every single day, 7 days a week, weekends as well. And I'm going to be doing it and following a set routine to show that I can do it and to see if there's any benefit to it and to give my findings, basically. So my day is going to start at 4:30 in the morning. So I'm going to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm then going to drink a large glass of water, because research shows that if you drink a large glass of water as soon as you wake up, drinking cold water helps in waking you up, and it helps in rehydrating your body after sleeping for 7 or 8 hours. Then I'm going to go downstairs. I'm already going to be in my gym gear. I'm going to turn on Apple TV, and I'm going to be doing a 20-minute HIIT workout. Now I'm going to start off with some gentle body weight exercises to wake up my muscles, get the natural dopamine flowing, like some push-ups, squats, pull-ups, sit-ups, dips, that sort of thing. Just some natural body weight exercises just to get the blood pumping, wake my body up, get the natural dopamine flowing. Then I'm going to do a 20-minute HIIT workout. Then I'm going to go upstairs, take a shower, get dressed for the day, and by 5 a.m. I'm going to be in here in the studio getting my most important task done. Then I have around 2 to 2.5 hours before anyone else is up, before my wife's up, my kids are up, before anyone else is up. So I'm going to focus on doing my most important task of the day while I'm eating my breakfast. Then I've then got to get the kids up, help get everyone ready, get them their bottles, get them changed, all that sort of thing, get everyone ready and changed. Then it depends on if the kids are in daycare that day or not, but let's just assume they are. Then at 7:45, I've got to drop the kids at daycare. Then I'm normally home by around 8:10, 8:15. Then I'm going to take my dogs for a walk, and we're going to go out for a little run together just around the block for about a 15-minute run. 15-minute walk with the dogs, get them out, get their walk of the day done. Then I'm going to be back in the studio by about 8:30, 8:40. Then I'm going to be doing task 2 of the day, whatever my second most important task is, or if it's a continuation of task 1, I'll do that. But then I'm going to start doing task 2. And then I'm going to hopefully have my first coffee of the day then, because research also shows that delaying your coffee intake by around 2 hours is what you need and what your body needs in order to wake up naturally. So you just need to eat food and drink water for the first couple of hours. Then I have around 2 to 2.5 hours for the second part of my working day for task 2 before my alarm goes off, and that is to let me know that it's time to go to the gym. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because if I'm up at 4:30 and I've already done a workout, then I'm sitting at a desk. Then I'm up and about again, sorting the kids out and taking the dogs out. Then I'm sitting at a desk again. My body is going to start to go into get a bit tired and get a bit worn out. So then I'm going to the gym to do all my strength and conditioning training, to really work my muscles, to wake everything back up again, and to get that natural dopamine flowing. Then I'm home by around 12, and that is just in time for lunch. So after I've done all my strength training, my muscles now need their food and my body needs its nutrition. So then I have a shower, have my lunch, and then I'm back in the studio again for around 1 p.m. And this is my last coffee of the day, should I choose to have it. So I'm giving myself a maximum of 3 coffees a day, 2 in the morning and 1 just after my workout and after my lunch. But I don't have to have the third one. It's something that I'm going to have to do, because normally my coffee intake is around 10 cups coffee a day. I know it's terrible. I'm so bad for drinking coffee and I need to stop. So that's why I'm giving myself a limit of up to 3 coffees a day, and the last one being at around lunchtime, because research shows that it takes around 10 hours to get coffee out of your system completely. So I'm eking into my sleep time a little bit, but I'm hoping that by giving the last one around lunchtime, then hopefully it should be out of my system by the time I go to bed. Then between 1 and 3, I'm doing task 3, back in here, back in the studio, or doing whatever task 3 is for the day. And then at 3 p.m, my alarm is going off to take a break. Now that is usually going to be something like tidying the house, putting washing on, unloading and reloading the dishwasher, taking the dogs out again for another walk, getting some more fresh air. And it's just to take a break, to give my brain a rest from the hard work and the flow state that I'm in. And then at about 3:30 to 4 p.m, I give myself up to an hour for a break. I then crack on again until 5:30 when I finish for the day, and then I've got to go and pick up the kids from daycare. I've then got to get dinner ready, sort everything out for the evening, and then my kids have their bath time at around 7, get them ready for bedtime, and then we just wind down for the evening. And then between 8 and 9 p.m, I'm going to be doing my preparation for the next day. That is preparing my diary, looking at my calendar, preparing all my clothes and everything for the next day. Just make sure everything is all prepared and ready for when I wake up, because your morning starts the night before. So just getting everything ready. Then I'm normally in bed by around 9:30 and reading a book, and hopefully asleep by around 10 p.m. So that gives me 6.5 hours sleep, between 7 and 6.5 hours of sleep. So sometimes I might go to bed at 9:30 and crash out straight away. That'll give me the full 7 hours. But sometimes I might be reading for half an hour, and then that'll give me 6.5 hours. But it's keeping it consistent, because the problem I have at the moment is I don't have any consistency. I sometimes will go to bed at midnight, sometimes I'll go to bed at 3 a.m, sometimes I'll be really tired and I'll go to bed at 10 p.m. And my sleep cycle struggles, and that's why I sometimes have a bit of insomnia and I can't sleep. So for the next 30 days, I'm sticking to this routine, hoping that it works. Now you might be asking why I'm only giving myself 2 hours for each task, and that's because research has shown that your natural flow state when you're in hyperfocus and productivity is only meant to function at its optimum rate for up to an hour and a half to 2 hours. Anything more than that, you start to get tired, you start to lose interest, you start to get hungry or thirsty or whatever it is. So you need to take a break. It's just like when you're studying, they tell you to study for 20 minutes, take a break for 5 minutes. Being in flow state is no different. You need to work for about an hour and a half, take a break for a little while. So that's why I'm doing task 1 and then getting the kids up and getting everything ready and sorted. Task 2, going to the gym to wake all my muscles up and get my energy back. Task 3, taking the dogs out, doing some housework. And then that's it for the evening. So I'm not just doing a 30-day early bird challenge of getting up at 4:30 in the morning and going to bed at 10 p.m. I'm also doing a challenge where I'm limiting my coffee intake. I'm only allowing myself up to 3 cups of coffee a day. I'm trying to massively cut down on sugar and eating all the crap that I eat. and I'm really trying to sort of adapt to this sort of healthy and productive lifestyle. Now, is this going to work for me long term? I have no idea. After 30 days, I might tell you that yes, I had some great results from it and I found that it could work, but there's no way I can do it long term. And I might just carry on going to bed at 2 a.m. and getting up late. But I'll just have to wait and see what the findings are. But let me know in the comments, are you an early bird or a night owl? Now, some of you might be watching this thinking, well, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. What's the difference? Why is this? Does that mean I'm super productive? Well, answer yourself this. If you get up at 5:30 every single day for work, do you always get up at 5 o'clock in the morning if you're on holiday or on your days off? If you do, then you're an early bird by nature, and that's what you naturally do. If you don't, and you on your days off, you like to lay in until 8 or 9 a.m. and you like to stay up late, then you are a night owl like me. I've done shift work. I know what it's like to get up at 5 in the morning and have to go to work, but I've always struggled with it. It's not something that I enjoy doing. I used to love doing night shifts where I would get in at 10 p.m. and work through till 7 a.m. in the morning. That was what I would love. I would thrive doing that. But the early shifts that I used to do, getting up at 5, I would really struggle with. And there's a lot of people out there that are the same. So some of you are night owls and love staying up late. Some of you are early birds. But I have to be up early for around 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. for the kids anyway. But I'm quite lucky. I have a really good wife and she's amazing. And she gets up early with the kids and she sorts them out in the morning and I get to have a little bit of a lay-in. Not always, but sometimes I do. But for the next 30 days, I'm going to be trying this and seeing if it works. So we'll have to see. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. But let me know in the comments whether you're a night owl or not. And we'll have to see what the most productive morning routine that people do is. Let's find out.